So, remember when I brought up Deputy Jack Fulenwider? He was the Cherokee County Sheriff's deputy or corporal who used unreasonable and unnecessary force against a gentleman by the name of Richard Abernathy. He was sustained findings of striking him with his foot while he was lying face down, compliant, and already being handcuffed by a Holly Springs officer. So it was an attack that was so bad that it actually sent the suspect straight to the hospital for treatment. So I finally got my hands on the internal affairs video, and you guys need to see this, and that's why I'm sharing it. Here's the kicker before you even press play. During the internal affairs video, they do show body cam footage from another officer on the scene, except it is completely blacked out. The whole thing totally redacted. They don't want us to see on camera what it captured. So I'm going to attempt to try to push back. I'm going to try to get something that's unredacted or very minimally by Georgia law. I will keep you guys posted, but watch this first. Pay close attention to what happens at the very end, okay? Because we're going to talk about it when it's over, briefly. Let's watch.
All right, Fulenwider, this is memorandum data today from me to you. It's administrative investigation. This to inform you that an administrative investigation has been started in regards to a situation which was reported on June 1st. It happened on the 27th and 28th.
Yes, sir.
A copy of this allegation, which I already gave to you, is supplied to you for your information. I also supplied you with a copy of the employee's duties and rights during internal investigations. I'm going to give you another copy. I know I gave that to you Friday.
Yes, sir.
But I'm just going to go ahead and give you another one.
Okay, thank you.
You hereby order not to discuss this case with any other person other than the Office of Professional Standards / Internal Affairs, the Chief Deputy, the Sheriff, Major Smith, Lieutenant Barone, myself, or legal counsel. Any efforts on the contrary will be considered obstruction of this investigation and a violation of the direct order. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is the meat and potatoes of it. Like I said before, this is your Garrity warning. I wish to advise you that you're being questioned as part of an official investigation of the Cherokee Sheriff's Office. You'll be asked questions specifically directed and narrowly related to performance of your official duties or fitness for office. You're entitled to all rights and privileges guaranteed by the laws of the Constitution of this state and the United States of America, including the right not to be compelled to incriminate yourself. I further wish to advise you that if you refuse to testify or to answer questions relating to the performance of your official duties or fitness for duty, you'll be subject to departmental charges, which could result in your dismissal from the Sheriff's Office. If you do answer questions, neither your statements nor any information or evidence that is gained by reason of such statements can be used against you in a subsequent criminal proceeding. However, these statements may be used against you in relation to the subsequent departmental charges. In addition to the above rights, you have right to have counsel present during this question. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. So like I was saying before we started, everything said in this room cannot be used against you criminally. I know you spoke with PBA and
Right.
they elected not to come out, but they told you to keep them abreast of what's happening. So I'm glad you called them.
Yes, sir. Which, of course, is kind of freaky when
They say,
Go ahead and call them. Like,
yeah, that's scary.
then they're like, yeah, you don't need to come out.
Right.
Wait, what?
My phones are off. All right, Jack. So let's go ahead and start. So the night started on the 27th. It started with a chase from Holly Springs. About what time was that?
The actual pursuit, I think, was around maybe 4 or 5 p.m. I don't.
Were you on 10-8 at that time?
I was coming into work when it was going on.
Okay. Did you have your dog out there?
I did
during
not.
this hurt?
I
Okay.
went to the area to start help looking as perimeter,
Uh-huh.
but at that time everything was kind of breaking down anyway. So
Okay.
I
You
left.
just left the area.
Right.
Okay. So then you went on regular patrol out of Freeholm?
I was still working actually in Canine, and I was in
so you were all
the
over.
Oak Grove area.
Okay, so you were just down on the south end.
Right.
And how did Holly Springs just get on the radio and 911 call?
I'm not sure. I saw on CAD that
Okay.
Sergeant Jones and his whole crew was on in 83.
Okay.
And when I looked, they were out there for maybe already 45 minutes or
Okay.
so. So I texted him and I was like, hey, do you need anybody else up there? Because I saw in the CAD notes there was something where it said they saw the guy and then he shut the door and turned off all the lights and all that kind of stuff. So like, okay, maybe a barricade thing happening.
Yes, exactly. So you could have a barricaded subject. So when you got there, it was dark out?
Yes, it was, I think, right at maybe midnight 30.
Oh, okay, so you were rolling into 28th.
Right.
Did they have
They already had arrest warrants in hand for this guy?
I think they had arrest warrants, but I think they were still waiting on the search warrant.
Okay.
And when I got there, I talked to Sergeant Jones, who seemed to be the one in charge of everything, putting everything together.
Because it was a Holly Springs warrant inside the county, so
Right.
Holly Springs called us to assist.
Yes. Way before I
Way
got
before,
there.
yeah.
So Sergeant Jones spent a good amount of time on his PA system saying, hey, come out of the house, we have an arrest warrant, search warrant is on the way, we don't want to damage your house, come to the door. He even made contact with this person's mother through, I guess, a doctor's office that she works at somewhere, and got in touch with an employee, and the employee was telling her, hey, cops are out there, go outside, which they were still ignoring us, and all lights were turned off before I got there. And once the Holly Springs officers got there with the warrant was when we came up with a plan on how we were going to enter through the basement door. Didn't want to use the front door because there was a large glass decorative thing, and we didn't want to damage that. We want to do the minimum amount of damage by using the back door.
Minimize damage, you went through the back door.
Right.
How long were you there before entry was made?
Maybe, I can't remember exactly, at least 30 minutes to 45 minutes max. Could be more like 25 to 45.
And so, how did you guys get in the back door?
I have some breaching tools in my car, so we actually used a sledgehammer and a metal wedge.
Okay.
I held it there while Sergeant Jones tapped it in. Once it got open just a little bit, the wedge was moved, and he just didn't hit it like a hammer, used it more like the end of the sledgehammer like a ram, and the door came right
Just
open.
popped open, broke the frame?
A little bit.
Probably
We were able to
locks.
secure it by just getting the wood piece and putting it in there, and
Okay.
I think the homeowner might have used it. We helped him put the door back together.
Sure. Okay, so once you guys get in, were you in the original entry team?
Yes.
You were what? So if you had, I know you had Caparino in the front.
Right.
Second, it looked like it was Burns or Corporal Davis, I think it was.
Yes, and I know Burns was there because he had an orange, less lethal shotgun, and I was more off to the side of
Okay.
this because once the door came open, I think they had in their mind that we were just going to storm it and go in,
Yeah.
whereas we wanted to hold back and let it breathe and call out from the open door versus going in like a no-knock
Yeah,
was.
do a slow and deliberate.
Right.
Definitely.
So as soon as we actually made it through that threshold, we stopped, gave more announcements, and we gave announcements throughout the whole time, and calling out what we could see. And then during that time, we could hear all kinds of shuffling and moving upstairs, like people are moving around, not like items being moved, but
Just you can hear
running. You can hear thuds on the ground. Went through, we were able to clear the whole basement area, and basically there was a stairwell that came almost right in the middle of the basement, and there was a surrounding area almost all around it, normal basement storage stuff. There was like a game room. You could smell marijuana everywhere, and just briefly in plain view, you could see bongs and other marijuana smoking devices. But we weren't really worried about that. We were looking for people here. So right when we set up to go up the stairs, the father, I can't remember his name, came from upstairs down. And also, I want to make note, prior to everything, Holly Springs and SO people discussed arresting or taking warrants for both the mother and the father, since they made contact and they knew they were there.
Right?
They heard the warnings going off for however
Now,
many
you
hours.
didn't see the parents until you made entry.
Right.
So
Didn't-
beforehand, all that's...
That's what I was told.
Yeah, you were told that the parents are in the house with the kid,
Right.
and from what we heard, we were told the neighbors said it's unusual for them not to answer the phone, for not to come out, so there's something going on. So Holly Springs, that's what led to the search warrant. They weren't unsure if there was actually like someone getting hurt inside, he was holding them hostage,
Right.
or anything like
That was said, but I don't think there was anything that substantiated a potential
Yeah, well, you
hostage
never know.
thing. So having that in mind, I thought that was like, everybody's going to jail at this point, or at least detained, handcuffed until we can figure out
Absolutely.
and find everybody. So as we're going up the stairs, he was passed back to other officers. I don't remember if it was SO or Holly
So
Springs.
he came from the top down?
He came from the top and cooperated and came down.
Okay.
Once we got him down, like I said, he was kind of passed on, and then we went up. And he told us, he was like, hey, he's upstairs, he's laying down on the ground in the living room, we're good to go. I don't remember if that's where I heard the shuffling. It sounded like two or more people, but I don't know if it was just him or one
moving
person.
around so much?
I couldn't say. Because it wasn't soft movement, it was a lot of loud movement, and then it was done when we first went in. So as we went upstairs, I went up to the top of the stairs, right behind the shield, and then...
Right behind? Like, how many behind?
it was Caprino, and I can't remember if I was the third or second. I don't 100% remember. But I remember kind of directing Caprino around because he doesn't have a lot of shield experience, or even anybody on scene other than Sergeant Jones and I really had any experience at all in
And you
doing
don't know Holly
clearing
Springs because
situations.
you don't know them. Sure.
And it was obvious that they didn't know a whole lot, especially new way of clearing buildings, sectors of fire, all that kind of stuff. So Sergeant Jones and I were kind of directing everybody, telling Caprino, plug this hallway, plug the stairs, whatever. So when we got up, I don't remember if I told him to plug towards the kitchen area, but we went up and then to the right, which is where the living room was.
To cut you off real quick, Caprino came in and made a left.
I believe so.
He did.
I don't
he did.
remember. Okay.
I can see it on video.
Because I remember directing him to different areas. So Sergeant or Corporal Davis from Holly Springs and I saw the suspect, and I was able to see over the couch a little bit, and I think it was kind of set up like an L shape, so we kind of had to go around white couches, but I don't remember the exact configuration, but we had to go around some couches and a table, like an end table on the couch. So I had my taser out, just oriented on him. I know that this guy already has a history of running from law enforcement. Also, as we were approaching him, I noticed that now I have to worry about this guy. So we're going forward. I had my taser on him in case he decided to get up or flight. I didn't know if Dad was going to, create an issue, so we look back at him and he can go out the door. Don't know. So as we got to him, I still had my taser on the entire time until he was actually handcuffed. I had my dots on him. Wasn't arced or anything like that. Corporal Davis, I believe, handcuffed his left hand first. He was laying on the ground. He had his hands on his head like this at first. Handcuffed one, and I don't remember if he took this back or if he put it on the ground to try to get up, but as he got the one hand, he pushed up, and I thought, and I'm not 100% sure after reading this memo, I thought he was looking towards the fireplace, because it was us, him, and then like a brick fireplace area. So I thought he was pushing up and just moving up like that, so I stepped on his shoulder blades to push him back down on the ground. I did that because he was told as we were approaching, stay on the ground, we're coming, don't move, stay where you're at. I know this guy's here. We still have a third outstanding person at least that we know of, the mother, and I don't know what is going on in the surrounding. Shotgun under the couch, don't know. Of course, we were between him and the couch, so that's not really a thing. But I wanted to make sure he stayed right where he was until he was handcuffed. So I didn't like stomp like a kick. It was just a press into the ground just to get his shoulders there. And when I did that, I can't remember exactly, I didn't see it, but thing on the outside from when he hit the ground like that. So as soon as he was handcuffed, he screamed and, right there.
Where did your boot strike him?
Right in between his shoulder blades.
In the middle of the
I
back?
pushed, right, upper part.
Neck?
Not on his, and so I actually thought specifically, because originally I was going to just drop my knees on him, on his head, well, I know that sounds horrible, but on his head and then shoulder area, but recent events, I was like, I don't want to do that, I want to stay up where I can stay away from him and just push down up with my foot.
Okay.
So I used my foot onto, like I said, right between his shoulder, but not on his neck, just below his neck, but on his back.
Let's play it real quick.
Okay.
I want to go step by step.
And as soon as he got up from that, he was toe boots and was screaming all this. Told him to shoot and got up. And once I realized he was pretty fired up, so I went outside.
Oh wait, this isn't the right.
Well, let's play this one. Let's
That's
see what's on it.
Sergeant Jones's.
Let's
No,
see
there's
what-
nothing here. This is Sergeant Jones's.
Oh, that's the.
One thing I found disturbing in Burns's thing was, I can't remember exactly when, but it was when we were outside waiting. I noticed that all the Holly Springs guys just seemed really weird about everything after this happened. And Burns even walked by me and was like, man, I don't know what that guy was thinking doing that. And then, went and put his shotgun up. And I remember him saying that, and then reading this is not, I don't know what he saw or thought he saw, but yeah, I'm really bothered by it.
That might be a fellow officer just trying to show support at this scene,
Right.
but maybe in his mind he's thinking something else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This takes usually like a good minute for it to
At
play.
least,
probably
yeah.
big.
And I had it ready, and I don't know if the vibration from the television, so I apologize, Jack.
Oh, no problem. I understand. It's got to think.
Yeah, it'll come up. It just takes. It's good. You double clicked it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll take.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does take a little bit. And what happened last time is I didn't think it was working. That's when I went to go get the computer. Came back and it was playing.
Huh.
So it's one of those.
Yeah, it's showing on VLC, so it might just come up. Yeah, I'll do that. Right click it and see if you can open it with VLC.
Yeah, it'll say,
Oh, it just says open.
yeah. Turn the volume up on that just a little bit so I can just, if it does start to play.
I'm gonna go back out. It's gonna frustrate me.
It'll play.
It will. So usually it does, you can't let it do that thing. You know what I mean? Oh, it's still blinking, hold on. It might just come on.
Yeah, give it a second. I think it will.
That's such a big video, I'm sure that just
It is, yeah.
freaks it out when it.
I'll wait till it stops blinking and then.
It might be because it's a compressed file.
It was playing
Take a
before.
It
you
just
came
takes,
over.
yeah, it plays, it just takes a second to come on. I'm tempted just to yank it out and then put it back in. Like I said, it's a huge file. It's
Yes,
just
sir.
2 hours long, so. um, I'm gonna yank it out.
Yeah.
I don't wanna corrupt it, so can you,
Yeah, I'll eject it.
yeah.
Yeah, see, it's still saying it wants to play.
It just stopped blinking.
What happened?
No, I didn't do anything.
Here we go.
There it goes.
Awesome.
Nice.
Ever ball down.
All right, go back.
All right, here's where Dad comes in.
You want to search it real quick? Yeah.
Turn that light off, Dave, so we can.
Where's he at? Is he okay? Yeah. Is your son up there? Is your wife okay? Are you sure? Yeah. Okay, you're not very convincing. Yeah, so we're not gonna, it's right upstairs. He's not gonna hurt us, right? No weapons or anything like that? Richard, stay on the ground! Look, slow. Yeah, head up, one lethal. Richard, stay laying down. Richard, deputy jump around with the sheriff's office.
Where are you out here?
I think I'm right behind Burns. But
Okay, so Burns' camera's going right now.
Yes,
Okay.
I see his shotgun.
So second in charge there is Davis. He's got his gun in his hand.
Moving and going left. Moving and going left. Camera on the right. Put your hands up.
I recall encouraging people not to get stuck in the doors to get
So
in the area.
Caparino spins left there. You got Davis taking the lead, and there you are there.
Okay, so I'm there.
Can you cover the stairwell?
It happens quick, but we'll watch it a bunch.
I saw my taser.
Get on the ground. Sit down. Don't get up like that.
You was busting my teeth on me. You said that hand.
You saw it, right?
Right, can you do one more? Is that, it almost kind of looked like it was my right foot.
How many times have you watched this prior to today?
This is the second time.
Second time.
Yes, sir.
Where you at? We got over here. Can you cover the stairwell? Get on the ground. Sit down. Don't get up like that.
You said that hand my
Don't
hand.
get up like
I
that.
didn't do anything.
Sit down.
All right. We'll watch it again. So,
Richard, stay laying down.
real quick, no, I don't remember before I start again. So, Jack, at what point? Remember, I asked you about it on
Right.
Friday. Why'd you kick him? Or why did you strike him?
I wanted him to stay 100% flat down on the ground until we can put him in handcuffs. I didn't want him to get back up and either run to somewhere, some other area, or if there were weapons present, grab one of those. We didn't have any information that he actually did have a weapon, but in a warrant service, you have to make sure that you have everything under control. Nobody wants any surprises. He was told to make sure you stay there. I guess him and his father discussed that too before he came down. And when he started getting back up, the officer still didn't have the handcuffs on him, and I wanted to make sure he stayed on the ground until his handcuffs could be actually put on him. Both hands put in the handcuffs.
Richard, Deputy Jeff Randall with the Sheriff's Office. We have a warrant for your arrest.
Don't stay in the door too long, Nick.
That was me saying, don't make sure you don't get stuck in
I
the
heard
door.
it. So, when we get to it, I want you, at what point in this video do you think he's getting up?
Okay.
All right?
Richard, where you at?
Moving and going left. Someone come on. Moving and going left. Richard,
with the right.
put your hands up.
Where you at? We got over here.
All right, so about right here is when I have my taser on him, but he's not getting up or anything like that.
Cover the stairwell.
I'm gonna hit right here. Okay, so you're walking up.
He's still down.
He's still down.
I don't know that he even saw me or knew that I was there, because I don't know if he was looking up at that officer. I don't know, but
Okay,
it's
so-
shortly after this.
You got Davis. Davis gets his right arm.
Or left.
Right arm.
His right.
Okay.
You're on his left there. So,
Get on the ground.
Yeah, it was right. I mean, a second right before. It's just like I thought he did try to push up with his right, but maybe he was just arching his
Don't stay in the door too long, Nick.
back up.
To my left.
Richard, where you at?
Moving and going left. Someone come on. Moving and going left.
Richard, with the right.
Put your hands up.
Where you at?
here's a food to talk for next time, Jack.
Yes, sir.
One person talk. Because what you heard right there. Don't move. Put your hands up. Don't move. Put your hand. Well, what do you want me to do? You tell me not to move. You tell me to put my hands up. There's always when you do, and it just comes from me with SWAT.
Yes, sir.
There's one person that talks until
Right.
someone goes, "Hey, let me talk now." You know.
Right.
That's just talk.
Yeah, I think everybody was yelling.
Yeah, everybody, and it gets everybody confused.
Can you cover the stairwell?
It's right about here.
Get on the ground. Sit down. Don't get up like that.
Do you remember the Holly Springs officer reaching for his right hand and bringing it behind?
I thought it was his left hand that he got. So seeing this video it changed a little because I thought that he was grabbing his left hand and that he was turning this way.
Okay.
But, obviously that is different here. But it was right before I stepped on him was when he was getting up. I also see that he didn't use his hand to push up, which I originally thought he was pushing up with his right hand, because it was like he was turning that direction, so I don't know if he was turning into the hand being handcuffed. But he was, his shoulders were coming off of the ground.
So, I don't see it, Jack. I don't see it. I wasn't there. I think you reacted to Holly Springs pulling his arm. That's just my
Yeah, I mean,
theory.
I really hope, I mean, but like I said, I mean, he was coming up,
Here's-
but I see
So here
it's
is,
very bad.
yes, because that's all the news is going to say, Jack, is that, you know that.
But, I mean, I still, I did not kick him in the head
Yeah.
in any way. It was on his
Oh,
shoulders.
sure. But regardless of where you kicked him, it's got to be reasonable in this.
I understand.
And Jack, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't see it. And here, I'm going to show you another, not another view, but I'm going to show you another theory, not theory of mine, but my opinion on this, I'll talk while you.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So right here, Davis, when I talked to Davis said he didn't have the handcuff cuffed. But he had 100% control of his right arm.
Yeah, I thought he had a cuff on already.
He didn't know. He didn't, and we'll watch as we get closer. You'll see.
Yeah, I can hear.
You can hear the cuffs
Okay.
after the
Right.
thud.
Yes, sir.
So here is my biggest hang-up, Jack, and I'll explain this like I explain to other people too when it's force. And I'm going to preface this: force is not pretty. If you're justified in shooting a person, it is going to be ugly. There's going to be blood. There's going to be organ failure. There's going to be possibly death. It is not pretty. Force is not pretty. This is not pretty.
Right.
But it's also, it's got to be reasonable. And I'm just not seeing it, Jack. Honestly, I think you reacted to him moving his right arm when he was cuffing him.
So you kitchen, don't stay in the door.
And I'll get to it here when you see it too. And
Richard, where you at? I'm moving and going left. I'm moving and going left. Richard, on the right. Put your hands up. Where you at?
We got over here. Down the
Can you show me the stairwell?
Get on the ground. Sit down. Don't get up like that.
my thing is here why I don't see it, Jack. Honestly, if he thought he was getting up, he didn't do nothing
Right.
to help hold
Well,
him down.
I originally was going to push down on him with my knees, but I didn't want to do that because other things that were going on.
So-
and he stayed down. He never moved back again from that point.
So, where I'm going with it is, I go back to, you can remember your time back in the jail, when someone is getting strapped into a restraint chair and the deputy gets spit on.
Mhm.
It's disgusting. You're angry. And it justifies moving that mouth away from getting spit again. But you gotta follow up. It can't be a slap and just back up. It can't be an elbow strike to get it away from you without following it to keep it away from you. And my thing is, if you were truly, I would have loved to see you.
Right.
I hold you down. I hold you down.
Yeah, see, and I remember thinking that, but I was like, oh, I don't want to do that because
So, and that's where I'm having a hard time. I think you reacted to. So you have Mr. Abernathy. Mr. Abernathy, cuffed this way, right? You have Holly Springs coming up on his right side. You have him this way, right?
Right.
You see where I'm going?
Yes, sir.
I think you reacted to that and you hit him. So that's where I'm at, Jack. I'm stuck on it.
Yeah, I mean, after seeing that, I see, but you know, and I think you're right that I reacted, but I thought he was getting up at the time, or acting like he's wanting to get up at the time. I don't think he would have, but I wanted to keep him down, under control, until he was actually handcuffed.
So, in seeing that, do you have anything to, just before I start?
Not right now.
Okay. So, in seeing that video, would you use the same level of force?
I mean, after understanding that it's probably him moving in that direction, and he was essentially being moved by the officer, I don't think so.
And it's always your perception of what's going on.
Right. Looking at it now,
The issue I have, and I put myself in your position, and you have to. I have to put myself in that room at the exact moment that you're using force. And I think you need to slow down a little bit. I think tempers were probably aggravated everybody in the room. You've been out there forever. You got this guy who's run from us already. The parents ain't giving him up. I get it.
Right.
We've all been there. But I'm just having a hard time with the reasonable and necessary.
I understand.
I don't like using the excessive part. Excessive looks, the word excessive on excessive force it just looks so bad. I'm just having a hard time explaining that it's reasonable and necessary to do what you did because you didn't follow it up with an action of, I'm going to use a striking technique, but like with an ASP, striking technique, you follow it up with some other, right? Or wrist lock or some other use of force where you're stopping the threat, and I'm having a hard time with that, Jack. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Right.
So, Dave, you got anything?
I understand.
When you're leaning up against Sergeant Jones's vehicle after the incident, Holly Springs comes out and you tell them something. Do you remember what you told them?
Not exactly.
Sorry about that, boys.
Okay.
Why did you apologize?
Well, I noticed that they were just kind of weirded out about it, and I know they would have to go sit at him on the hospital because the jail was going to refuse him. I don't remember exactly what I said throughout the whole time, but I knew that they were going to spend more time dealing with him than I would have.
All right, so you were apologizing about the time that they're going to spend.
Yeah, because they're going to be dealing with it
so
a lot
much
longer
your
than
actions.
I would have to do. Right.
Okay. Why wasn't your camera running?
I had left it in my patrol car.
What do you
the
drive?
microphone? Tahoe.
What year? What do you drive?
It's a 2019 Chevy Tahoe.
What kind of recording system do you have?
The WatchGuard system. I should have had it.
You're the only
I
person.
overlooked it.
You're the only person out of 8 officers that didn't have it, and you're a corporal.
Yes, sir.
Why didn't you have it?
I just overlooked it. It didn't even run across my mind because at first I got out, was going to talk to Jones. Hey, what do we need?
You're going to stress that in your career with your other
sir.
young deputies, right? You're always going to be like, don't do this, don't.
I will, because as soon as everything happened, I was like, when it came down to report, I don't have my stuff with me.
Because remember now, you're part of leadership, you're part of the supervision.
Yes, sir.
And you have to set the example.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. I'm done.
That's it.
Go ahead and shut it down.
Yes, sir.
Pretty unbelievable, right? But did you catch what happened at the very end of that audio, like I did? Because they actually dropped the fact that Corporal Fulenwider didn't even have his own body camera on. And why? Because, he simply forgot. He left it in his vehicle. He forgot to turn on the one tool meant to guarantee accountability during a forced entry search warrant. And here's a question that we all need to be asking. Why is it that when Internal Affairs uncovers a blatant policy violation like this, they don't proactively note it and sustain it? Why are they actively hiding these violations? They end up forcing the public to dig and discover and call them out before they'll finally put it on the record. So, it is clear as day that he violated policy by not having his camera on, and if we don't demand transparency, they will probably keep sweeping forgotten cameras under the rug. Ask me how I know this. So, yeah. Share this video. Tell me in the comments, why do you think they're keeping us in the dark? Why are they making it so difficult when they literally campaigned off of transparency? Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching on I'll upload this stuff so you guys have access to it, because that's the whole goal, right? Transparency. I do the hard work and I get it to you guys, and you guys are, well informed and educated, and you know what's like really going on, not just what they give to you. I'll see you next time.